Very interesting game and matchup here. All right, everyone's readying up. And we are away. The nub is the wrong color. I think we'll get that fixed here in a second. All right, we got Trunk on blue in the first seat. Chad immediately going to sign binding diplomatic treaties with every player in the game. Legally binding, no takesies, backsies, right? Anyway, that's just how strong the diplomacy system works in Risk, right? Then we have, so yeah, I guess before I list everybody, Trunk, looking at Trunk spawn here, he's trying to figure out where do I take a bonus if I can get one, right? Normally, a progressive 70 game on a map of this size does end up being a bonus game. And the bonuses on command base are generally pretty large, the average being +7s. And we'll take a peek at the bonuses once everybody takes their first turn. So Trunk does not have lines for a turn 1 bonus.
Danke für alles. Können Sie meiner Mutter sagen, dass ich draußen bin?
Hang on a second. Let me.
Schönen Tag noch.
Okay, I had to mute Clive there. So yeah, he doesn't have any lines on a turn 1 bonus, but he does have. He is getting himself set up for turn 2 to take that +5 up in the top right. I believe that's sector A. All right, then we got Nub 2.0 on yellow in the second seat. It also appears as though Nub does not have any turn 1 bonus prospects. If I'm Nub, I go for probably the bottom sector here. I can't remember if that's like, I can't remember what it's called, but the +7 that Chad's cursor's on right now. Hudson took his color. No, I think Blitz was Zerge. I think Blitz was just saying that Nub was yellow for a second when he was black on the scoreboard, but it's resolved now, so appreciate that. So yeah, it looks like Nub is getting set up for a turn 2 bonus. We got Chad on green in the third seat. He's working on, I think that's hangar A. That one I think is one of the weaker ones. I think that's a +4. He should be able to get that next turn. All right, Hudson on purple in the fourth seat. He's going to be working on one of the larger bonuses. And he might have this turn 1. Looks like he does. Get sector B, turn 1 +8 for Hudson Hornet. That's huge. Decides to move out of another bonus to fortify a troop in. Very nice spawn for Hudson. Then we have Ananias Wellington, also known as Grogu Mudhorn, in the fifth seat as the red player. Looks like he also has a turn 1 +8. Going to take the command center in the middle of the board. So the command center, not the best bonus to have in the late game, but you take your turn 1 +8s all day if you can get them, particularly if you're fifth. All right, and last but not least, we have Gus, the white player, in the sixth and final seat. Looks like he's going to be working on another hangar here. Not quite going to get it this turn, but definitely putting some work into it. All right, now Trunk going to have to finish the job on Sector A at the top there. And then we'll see. We'll find out if we'll go through one more set of turns here before we look at the bonuses, since we want to make sure we see people taking bonuses. Going to come down to 2 3v1s. He lands the first one, lands the second one, and gets the dice he needs there. Rolls out of Chad's bonus into Gus's bonus. I think Gus would have preferred he rolled that 2 into purple, but Chad doesn't really care either way because he's going to be able to get his. Where does that leave Gus? Will Gus be bonusless on turn 2 in the last seat in a 70 game? Could be catastrophic for the white player just with that 1 2v1 move. He might be, yeah, he very well might be screwed. He's going to need some crazy dice. All right, Hudson looks like he's trying to set up. Nope, not quite, not exactly greeting out for a second bonus, but you know it does look like that a little bit. All right, no crazy breaks yet. All right, where is Grogu going for his card? Doesn't look like he has any lines or delusions for a second bonus. Going to take a little bit of board on the back end. Gus upset that he appears to have been knocked under 12 territories. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, Gus is going to need some insane dice here in order to get his turn 2 bonus. Going to come down to 2 1v1s. Needs to land them both. Fails the first one and doesn't really have a way to get it, and loses one there. So yeah, Gus is not in very good shape here. It does look like he will be the first out, based off of how this board has developed so far. All right, so let's take a quick peek at the bonuses on Command Base. We got the +4. Hangar B is the smallest bonus on this map. That is Chad's bonus. Then we have 3 +5s. You got Hangar A, Sector C, and Sector D. Then you have no +6s. You have 3 +7s. Sector E, F, and H are your +7s. Then you have 2 +8s, both of which are occupied, Command and Sector B. And then you got 2 big +10s, Sector A and Sector G. Alrighty, that's it for the bonuses there. Gus should have spawned with a turn 1 +8 that's on him. Yep. Yeah, people don't practice their spawn enough. I try to practice that every chance I get. Alright. Trunk appears to have done some smacking down in the +7 at the bottom of the board. Nub looks like he's guarding his bonus a bit. Makes a couple of attacks. So far, the only player that is sitting on the most board right now is Grogu, sitting on the sunny side of 20% right now. Grogu can kill Gus this turn. Looks like Chad is going for a second bonus, asking for Hudson to roll out his 3. If anyone should have a second bonus, it would be Chad, just because of how small his first bonus is. And he's going for a +5. We will see if Hudson allows him to take it by rolling out his 3. I think Hudson would prefer to keep that position, but he may not mind allowing Chad to take a second bonus. He does decide to roll his 3. All right. Can Grogu land an early Gus kill here? Would need to go through a Hudson 3 to get it. Appears to have him just about everywhere else. Well, actually, never mind. You're right. Yeah, that 2 up at the top would require a break against his neighbor Hudson, which I don't think Grogu is willing to do. So Gus will live to fight another day, or at least another turn. I think he was hoping to turn the early +8 into a bounty. But it looks like Hudson also has a similar idea. Does decide to take a card off of Gus anyway. So Gus has nothing else to play for here. Needs to get this bonus to even have a shot at getting back in. Has to land both of these 3v1s to be successful. Lands the first one and lands the second one. But that second one did come at a cost. And Gus's primary neighbor, which is about to neighbor him on both sides of his bonus, is giving him thumbs up and hearts. So we likely won't be seeing a break from Chad here. It's possible that Possible, though unlikely, that Gus is back in this game with that bonus take. Chad does have a set on 3, but doesn't particularly matter too much just yet. Trunk continues to work on his second bonus. If he gets good dice on these 2s here, he'll have it. Needs to land a 5v2. Decides to take the 100% 4v1. Is he going to wait another turn, or does he go for his plus 12 bonus total now? Perfect dice on the 5v2. Just what he needed to land a second bonus. Trunk is now on plus 12 in the 4th turn. Gonna be surprised if they let Gus hold that. Almost a free kill. Yeah, I don't know. I have a feeling that Chad is gonna let Gus hold that, but we'll see. I'm not sure if he's the type of guy to do thumbs up and hearts just to just to smack him. But maybe. We'll find out here in a moment. But it certainly would be understandable to keep Gus weak. There really isn't much he can do to retaliate. He's signaling to Gus about something. I guess adding to an external, maybe? So yeah, it does look like Gus will be allowed to hold. Chad doesn't break him. Either Hudson or Grogu would need to break Chad in order to break Gus. And it looks like Hudson can take the plus 10. Is he going to take Sector A here? Looks like he is. Hudson on plus 18 with his second bonus take. I do have my doubts that he'll be able to hold both of these. But with no portals, if a break comes, it will come from a neighbor, excuse me. Yeah, Gus lives, miskill potential, yeah. Gus at least lives for now. He has no prospects of a turn 2 bonus. Grogu, having the middle bonus, now finds himself surrounded on all sides. Does decide to break Hudson, allowing him to upgrade from a plus 8 to a plus 10, but not allowing him to hold both. Hudson gives the thumbs up, signaling that he's fine with that. Okay, I'm not sure if Chad intended for Gus to take that particular card. I think he was just encouraging him to add there. But Gus appeared to take that as a signal to remove him. Or maybe he did intend it as a removal. Like, hey, take me out here. That way you know I won't kill you. Or it's a lot harder for Chad to kill him now. Gus needs to die now. Yeah, Gus still hasn't quite crossed the 20 troop benchmark. We're in the 5th turn here. Hudson asking Chad to break white. Trunk also moves into Hudson's bonus. And decides to demilitarize his border with Nub. And Nub answers the demilitarization with an immediate break. It looks like Chad's best card is on Gus's 2 there. Best card without breaking, anyway. Hudson trying to encourage a break. Chad instead just going to hit a 2. Gets perfect dice on it. Chad considers fortifying his 11, but decides not to. Chad's got to realize if he doesn't kill Gus, at some point he loses a stack. Right. Yeah, somebody will go through Chad in order to get the Gus kill. And that somebody could be Hudson. Hudson, Trunk, or Grogu will go through Chad to kill Gus. Nub would have to go through Trunk and Chad or Grogu and Chad to kill Gus. So Nub is the least likely player to get the Gus kill. No point trying to keep him alive. He's trying to block both paths. Don't think that works. Gus suicide sooner or later because he can't win. Right. Yeah, Gus on life support with 15 troops there. But Chad refuses to unplug him from the hospital bed. We'll see if he makes a miraculous recovery, or if a more humane thing is done, even though it might be a bit cruel. All right, we do see Gus with the early trade, going to set on 4 cards for the 4 trade. Normally not what you want to see when you are in the last position. But Trunk is not complaining about that. Improves his set by 2. We'll see if he breaks Nub in response to his break the previous turn. Decides not to. But leaves a 2 to make it a little more painful if he does decide to break next time. Nub with the 8 puts him on 69 troops. If they move out of Chad's way, he can kill Gus this turn. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't look like anyone is up for that. We do see the dab come out from Nub. Nice 10 set for Chad. Not at all set up for the Gus kill, but might have it next turn maybe. Would need Hudson to move out of his way. All right, it looks like Chad is going to give Hudson the Gus kill. Yep. Chad moves his stack. Hudson's going to set on 5 with the 12 trade here. Now has him in both positions. Crackle says should let Chad kill him. It does look like Hudson will get it. Along with Gus's 2 cards. GG's to Gus. Very rough start for him. And well played to Hudson Hornet taking the first bounty this game. Chad with the wild card has a set on 3. Hudson on a plus 15. But I doubt he'll be allowed to hold both. Chad will likely break Hudson's plus 5 that he took off Gus. Hudson sitting on 5, and we saw Grogu set with a 12. Sorry, we saw Grogu set with a 15. My mistake. Wow, Grogu decides to break Hudson's plus 10. Hudson with the devil horns.
Daddy, my show. My show. My show, my show.
What happened to your show?
We turn it off.
It turned off?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we turn off.
Yeah, do you want to sit here with Daddy? Come here.
Because I'm eating.
What? You're stinky?
Yeah.
What does that have to... You come in here talking about your show instead of starting this conversation with the fact that you're stinky? Wait a second. Are you stinky?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I guess you are. You stinker. All right. I'll be back, folks. All right, crisis averted. So it looks like Hudson retook his +10. Chad upgraded from a 4 to a 5, gave Hudson the +4. Huh. Doesn't look like too much of a war materialized between Hudson and Grogu, but I suppose I missed it. All right, Nub and Trunk both on 5. Nub appears to be asking Chad to move out of the way and hit purple. Ah, I see. And Chad decides to break Hudson. And it looks like Nub is asking for help from Chad to kill Red. Chad gives him a little bit of help. Chad has no set on 4, but has a wild card. He's going to be forced to trade it on 5. Hudson, thinking about what he wants to do here, has not been allowed to hold a bonus larger than +10. Hudson decides to retaliate on Chad by breaking both of his bonuses. This appears to be feeding Chad to Grogu, maybe, if Grogu has a set. Grogu would need a set to land the kill here. And even this may not be enough. Sets are still pretty small. Setting in with 25. Doesn't look like he quite has it. He might have it, but it's tight. He is going to do it. Hey, welcome in, Chintz. Chad thinking about flagging out here. And then Grogu goes after some territory here. Going to see if he can turn the Chad kill into a 70 run. Trying to max out his clock. Oof, I'm not sure that was the dice he needed. Gonna leave it to a 2v. Oh, never mind. He's got a 5 there. Grogu with enough juice to take the Chad kill. Let's get a spectate here, please. Thank you. All right, setting in for 30. Does he have the run? Ooh, placing there seems to indicate that he does not believe he does. Gonna pass it over to Trunk. Trunk setting in for the 35. Can Trunk kill Nub or Hudson into the run here? We see the GGs come out from Nub. Yeah, Trunk appears to be attempting the 70 run. Does he also have the Nub kill here? He does not have the Nub kill, but he is going for the run. I don't think he meant to split there, but he gets the 2v1 anyway. Still has 60 troops to work with and plenty of board to run around on. Going to split off a few troops there to see how far his 9 can go. He's going to need to hit an 11, but plenty of room to work with. On 66% of the board, just needs 1 or 2 more territories. And with a solid 70 run there, we see Trunk take the W.